traitors in my castle, their roles are assigned, their fates in the game, forever entwined. Under cover of night, the traitors will slay. Can a faithful fight back, or be the next play? Till death do us part, in shadows they hide. Murder and treachery, secrets and lies. They'll all stop at nothing for the ultimate prize. All are mere puppets in the world of the traitors. From the meek to the fierce, pawns to dictators, bound by the strings of the silent orchestrators. Every move, every breath, a twisted decree, a game of betrayal. No one's truly free. Till death do us part, in shadows they hide. Murder and treachery, secrets and lies. They'll all stop at nothing for the ultimate prize. All are mere puppets in the world of the traitors. Who can you trust when the darkness descends? The blade in the back, the whispers of friends. The court is a theater, the blood-stained stage, a dance of deception, a war in a cage. Till death do us part, in shadows they hide. Murder and treachery, secrets and lies. They'll all stop at nothing for the ultimate prize. All are mere puppets in the world of the traitors. Come friend, come foe, come one, come all, to the highlands to see who lives and who falls. Jokers and fools, queens and kings, all are mere puppets on invisible strings.
Hello, hey Sunshinery.
Hello, Kooch. How are ya?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
What a finale.
Oh my God. It was definitely a wonderful season. It ended perfect.
It was. Rob was right though on his prediction that it was going to be, I mean, because it ended perfectly, but it was still kind of lackluster because all the excitement happened, at the beginning and in the middle.
Yes.
But
it was an intense season, I think, all around.
Perfectly. Yeah. Yeah, and the fact at the end, the way it ended, yeah, it was great.
It was like you could really finally breathe at the end, kind of a feeling.
Right. I mean, it was just so cool that all four of them took the risk like that.
Yes.
I liked it a lot.
Me too. And what a reunion, too.
Yes, it was. Oh my gosh. Fun. A lot of fun. Yes. I got lots of pictures.
Yes. I sent you lots of videos of what we were watching.
Yeah, I'll pull them up at the end. I just left them in the Instagram. So I'll pull them up from there. Hey, sweet.
They all looked gorgeous, too, in their outfits. I will say that.
They did.
Even Rob stepped up his game. There was no hat today.
I know. Rob looked great, and he was almost in a tux almost. It was a very nice suit, except, as Andy pointed out, the pants weren't quite tailored enough.
Of course.
That was funny. But I'm with Rob. Like, I probably wouldn't get that stuff tailored. Like, I'm not like doing stuff like that all the time. I don't know. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
mean,
I
he
never even
does.
would have
You got to think
noticed.
about it. He's been in how many Survivors that they've done reunions for that too. Like, I know that his like reunion that he did with his wife, that was the beginning of Survivor, and they were both in like jeans and a t-shirt. But it steps up their game nowadays. They're usually in tuxes for that. You
Right.
would think that he had a couple
Yeah, like,
suits.
I'm proud he didn't wear jeans because,
Yeah.
he could have. He definitely, I mean, I wouldn't have put it past him. I mean, I would have been mad if he'd worn the hat, but I'm
I was
surprised he
shocked
didn't wear
not to
jeans.
see Sandoval though in a kilt because you would think Scotland.
I was too.
He likes his kilts.
I was too. I thought for sure he would have tried to find a new fancy kilt to wear for sure.
I will say though too, he
So yeah,
kept making that joke about him doing drag on Vanderpump when they were talking about putting Dylan in drag.
Visa Manderpump.
Yes, well, that was his drag name. Yes, and everyone looked at him like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Even Bob, the drag queen, was like, "You've done drag before?" Like, no, they don't watch your show, Sandoval. Only we watch your show.
Right? Yeah, I like Shanita Clue a lot, but Visa Manderpump, don't do that to Lisa.
It was the worst. And then he dressed up like Raquel though for Halloween one time during the affair.
Oh, did he really?
Yes.
Oh my God, I didn't know
he did. So during the affair, when we had no clue, it was Halloween time. She went to, it was like a BravoCon that they did, and it was in New York City, and he dressed up like her with the Tom Tom hoodie, of course, because she had a Tom Tom hoodie that she wore with her little skirt, and he dressed up like that with a wig on and all of that to be like Rachel during the time that they were having an affair.
Oh, he's such a loser.
Yes.
Such a loser.
I'm surprised he didn't bring that drag queen name up.
Right? He's lucky that Chrishell didn't say anything.
I
know. So back to the very beginning, it starts with them trying to decide with Britney, with Britney having to reveal her vote. And so it's all very dramatic, but as she reveals her vote, the final vote is for Danielle. And
I was shocked. I was shocked. I literally thought it was going to be a game of chance.
Yeah, I wasn't.
I know you weren't.
But
I didn't know about the reindeer game incident either until the reunion.
Well, that's the Big Brother. I mean, the reindeer games is the Big Brother show.
Yes.
It was, but yeah, so yeah, I wasn't. I mean, when Britney said that she thought that her vote wasn't going to count because she thought Dolores was going to do it anyway, okay, well, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But there was more to it.
There was.
There was definitely more to it.
What about her breakdown? Oh my gosh.
Right. And everybody just kept hugging her and hugging her.
I thought she seemed a little suspicious by doing that, though. Like, she could have played it off better.
Yeah, I thought it seemed kind of natural, but then at the same time, when you've got Danielle doing that the whole time, even if it is completely natural, it's going to come off as fake because of Danielle.
Yeah, well, they learned a thing or two. I know.
That was funny. Danielle got the best actress in a Scottish Castle award or something like that.
She did. I love the little statue of the traitor.
That was so cute.
I wish they did a couple more awards, though.
Right. So Danielle revealed that she was a traitor. Yeah. But she goes through and she says stuff to everybody. She thanks everybody, except for Britney. She looks at Britney and just says, "Wow."
Yeah.
She promised that she was going to come into the game and play for her family, and she was going to do that by any means necessary. And so, of course, she was a traitor.
Yeah.
So Britney's bawling, everybody's hugging her.
Yeah.
Danielle's in the confessional saying she feels stupid to believe that she could trust Britney, and then Britney was the one to put the nail in the coffin again. So she's embarrassed that she didn't take her out.
Too bad. You recruited her. You had the opportunity to recruit anybody you wanted. You chose Britney.
Right. She should have, when Carolyn at the very beginning said something, that's when she should have done it.
Yeah.
But it seems like she wanted to somehow get, even if she didn't tell Britney she was a traitor, I think she wanted to get Britney in the Tourette from the beginning, it seems like, almost.
Well, it was like the people that were closest to her would have made, like, even her and Bob the Drag Queen were close, so, or they had that alliance at least right away that they were friends, and it just worked out well with them, so she needed somebody else on her side, especially with having, you know, Rob and Carolyn both in there, not on your side. So
right. Britney said also that it would have been just everybody was just too suspicious of Danielle, and if it hadn't been that night, it would have been the next. And then she's like, or the next. I'm like, Britney, it's the end of the game. It would have been, maybe it would have been the next night, but not,
or the next banishment session. Maybe that's what she meant, but I don't think she meant it like that either. Yeah, right. The end of the game, the last one.
Right. So yeah, I thought so. I guess they never really got over their little reindeer games thing, even though they seemed like it. So
yeah.
Britney then find out that Britney won the seer power. Oh, there's no murder, and then Britney won the seer power.
Now, do you think that she originally won, or she got second best since Danielle was banished? Because that was a big thing that people were asking.
I think she probably got second best, but I don't know if we'll ever find out.
I don't think we will either. Unless they talk about it on some kind of behind the scenes.
Probably collected more. Yeah. Danielle had more
coins.
More, I mean, even though Britney had a lot of motivation, Danielle still had more. Like, she had the biggest desire and need.
Yes. I'm finally home.
Oh my gosh, good job. So, they find out that Britney wins the power, and then we've got Alan and Britney disappear back to that hidden bookshelf room.
Yes. I was surprised, though, that the book was the seer, but I think they changed it just for dramatic purposes.
I think they did, too. I feel like they did, too. I should have gone back to check, but I just didn't feel like doing it. But I did think about going back to check, but after rewatching it a second time, I forgot. But yeah, I agree. I think they just put the new book in or changed the label on the book.
That's what I think too.
To make it the seer. Yeah. But while they're in there, the rest are discussing Danielle, and Dolores was like really proud of how Danielle was acting and said she should get an Oscar, the way she convulsed on the floor after they took Carolyn out.
She was, though.
Right, she was. And I guess because we all knew it was fake, I don't know, but it sure, I think would have side-eyed it too.
Yes. And I think Robin explained it best, like watching it from the perspective of we know who the traitors are. We see it differently than the way they're playing it because they have no clue. So for them, it looked like she was having a nervous breakdown on the floor. But for us, we're like, we know she's a traitor. This is crazy how she's acting.
Right. Especially if you'd never seen her play a game before.
Exactly.
And also, it's been so long since she's really been able to play that crazy.
She said she was acting 24/7.
Yes, 24/7. Dylan had said that if Britney was a traitor, then whoever she picks, if if she declares that they are also a traitor, then that means that Britney's a traitor.
Yes.
But if she says that they're faithful, then he's going to be more confused than ever. Is now his current theory.
Yes. Which it was a good theory in the sense of, like, if they said that Gabby was a traitor, then they both would be traitors. You wouldn't be able to trust both of them.
Right.
So he shouldn't trust Gabby. Like, I mean, I don't know.
Right.
That's Dylan's thing.
So Alan, then back to Britney and Alan says the only way that anybody's going to find out anything is whatever Britney decides to tell after the meeting. So if she decides to tell anybody, so he asks who she picks. And what did you think of her pick of Gabby?
I saw why she picked Gabby, because Gabby was kind of like up to be voted against Danielle that night. And the whole, I don't know. I liked it, but I didn't. I thought she should have picked somebody else, because I thought for a second she was going to pick Ivor, because they were going after Ivor a lot. So it would have been more realistic with Ivor, but I don't know. Maybe she didn't want to betray Ivor. The way she did it was
right.
I thought you could tell she was acting, where like before when she was a faithful, she was being herself.
I wonder if she'd picked Dylan and then tried to pin being a traitor on him, if that would have made her plan go better the final night, or if she even had any awareness that she was gonna, try to, throw him under the bus.
I know, right? Night. I didn't think she was either. That was crazy.
Right. But yeah, I agree. Gabby was just kind of like ho-hum. Okay.
And the way that they did it, like, when Gabby was sitting next to Danielle and she like couldn't believe they weren't even speaking to each other and she was making those faces. Yes. I saw her doing that at the dinner that night. Like, she knew that like Britney was acting. You could just, the way it was so unnatural. It wasn't like they were having normal conversation with each other anymore.
No. No, it was very much like a bachelor date, like she said, very kind of awkward with the rose.
Yes.
Like, whereas, finding out if she's a faithful or not, that's where the rose came in. I guess Britney got the rose finding out she's a faithful, although she already knew.
Yes.
So Gabby is concerned, though, that Britney's going to lie about it the next morning, and that's, yeah, I mean, a valid concern.
Yes.
So then Britney burns the evidence of Gabby being a faithful.
Yeah. I think they do that, though, because I think they did that last year, too. They burned the evidence, if I recall correctly.
Did they do the seer last year? I don't even remember.
They did.
Okay. I completely forgot.
Yeah, I mean, last year seems a long time ago for me as well, but I do remember them doing a seer before.
Right?
It's either in the first one or last year. I remember a seer, though, being in one other Traitors.
Okay. So we come after Britney burns the evidence, they basically go to breakfast, and we've got Dylan in first, and he's just super excited to be there on the final day. Oh, and he's got jeans on. Like, he's not dressed up, so I didn't really get a picture of him walking in because he just had, like, jeans and a polo on or something. And then we had Dolores come in after that. Let me find her picture. There we go.
Love it.
Love her suit so much. Then we had Ivor come in his this jacket really reminded me of royalty.
Yes.
Didn't it? Like, that's so Lord Ivor.
It is.
Like the fashion.
It's probably custom made just for the Lord.
Right. And I like it on him.
Yes.
Now, I could see Tom wanting to try to pull something like that off, and I don't think he could.
Me too. He would try.
But I could totally now see Tom wanting to copy that shit.
He probably's like, where'd you get it, Ivor? I need it.
Right?
It was custom made.
And I'm sure he's like,
you can't get it. Yes.
Like, I don't think you can afford his tailor, Tom.
No, sorry, not on your budget.
And let's see. Oh, and Ivor comments that he's wearing his party frock. I thought
Yes.
he really has come out of his shell a lot. I didn't really realize how shy he was. So he's grown on me in the end.
Well, when I first researched who he was, because honestly, I didn't even know he was a lord when he started this. Like, I didn't even know he was part of the British royal family. Maybe I'm not into the British royal family stuff, but his partner seems more out of is the one to get him out of his shell from everything I saw on the Instagram and their vacations and everything that he does. He's very adventurous.
Okay.
He's a world traveler.
It seemed like he was adventurous because he had no problem volunteering to go alone on the helicopter thing.
Yes.
And loved every second of it. So
exactly. I would be like, I need a partner, thank you.
Right. Now Dylan is telling Dolores and Ivor that he hopes that Britney says Gabby is a traitor because then they can just take them both out and it makes everything easier. But then he says if he comes back and says Gabby's a faithful, then they need to figure out a new game plan. Which eventually that happens, and then his new game plan is, oh my God, what if they're both lying and they're still both traitors?
Yeah. I loved it though, because it was like it clicked in his brain, for a second.
I know. And Gabby is so relieved. Like Britney tells everybody Gabby's a faithful, and she's like, I told you so, I told you so, I told you so. And then he's like, oh shit, you're both liars, maybe.
He's just like, now I'm just so confused.
Yes. And then Britney was telling the confessional that she didn't really see any reason to lie about Gabby being a traitor because then people would have, if they found out she was lying, they would have been just more suspicious of her and it wouldn't have done her. It would have just made things worse for her. So she thought it was stupid to lie about it. And I agree with that.
I do too. I don't think it would have helped her at all.
And maybe that's why she picked her, because she wanted to tell the truth. And if so, then I get that strategy.
Yes.
I guess, So she was hoping it would get her some credibility, but it really didn't in the end.
No, it didn't. I can see though why she tried.
Right. So then Alan enters and says, the day of reckoning is upon us, the last furlong of this murderous marathon. And the prize was up to $166,800.
Yes.
Yep.
Big prize.
Yep.
I think this was the most adventurous one they could have done, though.
Oh, it definitely was. Yeah, I don't think that Dolores and Britney and them were expecting to be on some kind of a challenge type competition. Which it really wasn't, because they would have had to fall, their bodies would have had to fall out of the air and land in the circle if it wasn't the challenge. But
true. Much more adventurous on that show.
Right. But yeah, that was really cool that they did have such an adventurous final mission. So he wants to know who's got the skills to pay the bills. Reminds them also that at the round table, people will no longer reveal if they are a faithful or a traitor at the banishment.
Yeah.
And
which is one. I figured they would do that sooner in the game when he brought that up.
Right. Yeah, I did too. I didn't think it would just be the very last one. I thought it would be the last two or at least 3.
Yes. Yes. That would have really threw him off.
Yeah, it would have. But yeah, and so then Dylan goes and talks to Britney before the competition. Said they hadn't really spoken since Danielle was banished, and he feels like she's acting. And Britney is sitting there knowing that he is suspicious of her. So yeah, they're both suspicious of each other in that conversation. And he's telling the confessional and anybody that'll listen that he's going for her at the next round table.
Yep.
And then she decides, because he's so suspicious of her, that that's where she's going to get the girls together to go after him.
Yes. I mean, but she was acting very suspicious, even talking to him.
I know.
Like,
And
she was being very suspicious. She should have seen that herself. I think she did.
I had so many pictures. I had to put them on the video thing, and I hate that. I wish I could pop them up. But I wanted to show Britney's dress really quick because it's really ugly.
Oh, yes.
You might be too young to remember this, and some of you in the chat should be just old enough to remember this, but and maybe they did have them in your prom days, but back when I was in high school and we had high school prom, the two popular dresses that everybody had to have was either a gunny sack or a Jessica McClintock. And I thought of a gunny sack dress when I very first saw this, something out of like 1988 that somebody would have worn to a prom.
Yes, yes. It looks like my mom's prom dress.
Okay, see, there you go.
Yes.
Close enough.
But it's like a newer age version of it, I would think, but still very much similar.
Yeah, I did not like it at all. I liked her reunion dress better, but I really hated this dress.
Yes, same here.
So anyway,
I was not a fan.
So let's see. We were oh yeah, Dylan was then talking to Dolores.
Yes.
And talking about Ivor. Oh, there's Alan in his suit.
Looking strappy as ever.
That shirt is so cool. It's not a shirt. It's his skin underneath that. It's like some kind of an attachment with silver and shit hanging off of it.
Wow.
Like, it's so cool. Like, so anybody could wear that. Like, if you had like a black dress or something, you could just put that around your neck and adorn your dress or anything with that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Isn't that cool?
Love it. Scrappy as ever.
Oh yeah, there's Dylan.
They were all looking. Yeah, his jeans.
And Lala. And Lala. I did not know. Did you know Lala was really Alan's dog? I didn't know that.
Oh, I did. Yes.
I think I knew, but I didn't believe it. I thought it was just another lie.
I mean, yeah, I got my hopes up thinking that they stayed in the castle this season. Like, I get it. It probably I can see why you thought it wasn't his dog.
Yeah, I just thought that they were lying. It was just another actor dog.
I like Dylan's idea, though, of bringing their dogs to the castle and having like a dog competition with the people.
Agree.
You have to bring cats though too, because I'm a cat person.
So then Dylan was just talking about how Ivor's faithful. He's known him the whole game, and Dolores says she hasn't gotten to spend that much time with him. And then Ivor comes in and asks if she's going to vote for him, and she just laughs and holds her hands up and like that I don't know maneuver. Pee-wee's mauve ombre suit was bedazzled beautiful.
Yes.
It was like a smoking jacket, and it was so pretty.
Loved it.
Gabby and Britney meet up. And yeah, Gabby was again looking at her. You know, Gabby did thank her for telling the truth. But as Britney is trying to talk about how weird Dylan's been acting, Gabby is also kind of giving the look.
The faces, yes. She just knows. I love how she like runs up to Dylan afterwards too. Right. She's like, we need to talk.
And then, you know, I think a lot of this too was filler and trying to mislead the audience that Britney actually had a fighting chance, because I didn't think she did. I didn't think any of this was going to work. I didn't think there was any hope. I wasn't fooled. So when Britney's in the confessional saying that she's confident and she's got a fighting chance and all this stuff, then even at the vote when she said, "Don't come for me unless I send for you," I'm just like,
oh my God, yes. Did you see Ivor though hiding behind the curtain when she was walking out from talking to Gabby and Gabby was running to Dylan?
Yes.
I was like, oh, Ivor knows what's going on.
His head was peeped out. I'm like, holy Ivor, oh my God. I missed it the first time.
Well,
Yeah.
they don't even notice when he's in a room. So
I know. That was like for real. That was so funny.
Oh, I loved it.
And so then we've come up to the mission.
Yes.
And they are basically they find out they've got 30 minutes. They have to find a bunch of golden bags and some antique cars and bring it all back to Alan in 30 minutes, and there's like 25,000 up for grabs.
Yes.
They give them a map. They give them this map, and then they give a clue that says, I am the official animal of this nation, impossible to hunt in any location. I knew the answer immediately. And I know Pippi knew the answer too immediately.
I didn't.
I knew because I used to, a long time ago, I used to joke with Julie Virgo that the unicorn was the Scotland's national animal.
Oh, I should have known that.
Years
Yes.
ago.
I
Yeah.
remember that.
Right.
Yes.
So, yep. So
I didn't even think of that.
Like, it's a unicorn. So luckily Ivor was there, because Ivor, being a lord of and all, luckily.
Yes, he should know all of that.
Right, he should know that. So he did know the answer, and they get to Unicorn Woods and they find the scroll in the box and they see a bunch of arrows and I've never heard Dolores be called Dolo, but all of a sudden Dolo doesn't want to have an ugly run.
I never heard her called Dolo either, and I've watched New Jersey Housewives for a long time.
And I missed like the last season. I thought, well, is that new in the last season? But
No,
Dolo,
I've never heard that.
Like,
Never.
I could have been typing Dolo in my notes this whole time. Are you fucking kidding me? Seriously, Dolores, come on. So yeah, she's and she didn't have an ugly run. I didn't see, the edit didn't do them dirty and didn't show any ugly runs.
No.
So they get to this, let's see, I've got a little picture of the building that they come up onto. Oh yeah, that was on the outside of the building they come up to, and they have to enter the total number of players to enter the game times the total number of banished traitors. And I can tell you, you will not find the answer on a periodic table.
Really?
Gabby said that
I know.
So smart. She must really know her periodic table.
Listen, I'm not good with math either, so I get it.
Periodic table, no, that's science.
Chemistry.
I'm like really bad at science and math too, but I guess it made me feel smart that at least I know that. I don't know. Like,
oh my gosh.
Gabby.
That's Gabby for you. Listen, I'm right there with her though. I didn't do good at science and math. And chemistry, I did good in high school, but then I went to college and I learned absolutely nothing in high school chemistry.
I cannot even imagine college chemistry. I could barely get through high school chemistry.
I failed it twice and finally got it the third time.
I surely would have too. Surely would have. I had to get.
It was not like Harry Potter.
I got straight D's in math and geometry and algebra, straight D's, and that was with a tutor.
Yep.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, no, that was me too in high school.
So,
but then college math was easy because you know why? We took algebra. I took algebra in college, and they taught us all how to use the TI-90 calculator, how to get all the answers right on it. Oh. I'm thinking to myself, I've had this calculator for years, and I could have just put the equations into this thing.
Right? Who knew all those other buttons had functions?
Right? That was my college algebra. So, I still didn't learn anything.
Right. So they get inside, they blow up, the lock blows up when Britney enters the right number. And then they get inside and they see these cars. That's kind of an overhead view of them running in. You can kind of see right in the middle where all the gold is and then all the cars parked. What
Yep. You got great photos.
Oh, and then after the competition, they drive the cars back.
Yes.
And you want to explain the next part of the competition?
Yes, so this is where the helicopters come into play, and I love it because he's like, it's a James Bond experience.
Yep.
And the whole mission was kind of James Bond's in that sense, but they were then hoisted onto, like, it was a strap that was hooked onto a helicopter, and it lifted them up, and they took them on this like little helicopter ride where they had to drop the bags of money into the ring of fire.
Yep. I'm showing pictures as you talk.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
couldn't get
Perfect.
a
There
good
you
enough
go.
picture of Lord Iver, but he really reminded me of
Yes.
like the Monopoly man.
He did with the money on his belt.
Yes, and
Yes.
just going all alone and stuff. I'm like, oh my god, he looks just like the greedy evil Monopoly man. Even though that's not his personality, it just cracked me up.
Yep. So Brittany and Dolores were up first, and they got the last two in, each of their last two in. The first one they missed, and then Ivor was up, like you said, and he got both of them.
No, he got
Yeah,
one of them.
one of them, and yes. And then Dylan and Gabby did together, and Dylan got all of his, and Gabby did not get any. Which
It
was hard
ended
to tell for me which bag was which, but apparently they knew.
I had trouble figuring out exactly who got what because the money just wasn't adding up to 204,000, which was the prize pot at the very end.
Yeah,
And so I
it
couldn't
was.
figure out because first I had 25,000. I'm like, but that's not 25,000 is not doesn't add up to 166 to 204. So
Yes.
I don't know how they got the number, and I don't know how I got numbers, but 204 is the final number. And yeah.
Talk about math. Here we go. We
Yeah,
don't
no,
know how the
that
math adds
the
up.
math isn't mathing. Even
No, it
at
wasn't though.
30,000 isn't 166 to 204.
Yeah,
The
maybe
math is
because of all the other things. I don't know if they added money throughout their challenges, but
well, yeah, I mean it was 166 to 204. So I don't know. I don't know. The
yes.
math didn't math, and that annoyed me. So, Alan commented too that he thought he would never see a member of the royal family throwing gold into a ring of fire.
Yes, yes.
That was funny.
Oh, yes, that was.
Oh yeah, so it was like 37,000. I think is that what the total? I don't
It
know the
was
math.
some,
Let me stop
yeah.
with the math. I was getting it was bugging me, and I couldn't stop thinking. Okay, anyway, so let me move
I love
on.
though how Dylan and Gabby though connected like because Gabby was petrified. Listen, I would probably be like her too, like you're gonna have to talk me into this and then maybe it'll be a little fun afterwards. But like Dylan and Gabby bonded on that helicopter mission, and I loved it because it definitely helped in the end. Because I
Yes,
think
yeah,
he wasn't feeling her like if I should vote her at the end kind of a thing. So
right. Yeah, I liked that too. I liked that a
yeah.
lot too that they bonded. So, um, so yeah, Brittany is then in the confessional saying that Dylan and Gabby are like Barbie and Ken, and she needs to get Barbie to like her more
Yes.
than she likes Ken. I'm like, well, I don't
Yes.
know how you're gonna do that. I mean, Barbie likes Ken more than she likes Skipper, so it's gonna be impossible.
Yes.
um, so they all get back to the house and they're all dressed again in their clothes they had on before the competition. Britt's ready to go on the attack to get Dylan out next. She says that Dylan's ass is grass.
Oh my God, yes.
Why didn't she finish that with an I'm the lawnmower? Like that's how my dad would have said it. Your ass is grass and I'm the lawnmower.
Oh my God. I never heard that one before. That's a
Really?
good one.
That's
I love
that's
your dad now.
the story of my life.
That's something my dad would say. He had all those crazy sayings too, and that was something my dad would have said.
Yes, I was really surprised she didn't end it with the lawnmower thing. I'm like, I've never. So, Dylan tells Ivor that he's 100% voting out Britney.
Yeah.
He also lets Gabby know that. Gabby acts like
Dylan, I love Ivor though. He's like, well, what about Dolores?
right.
He's like, I've never felt anything about Dolores like that.
Right. Dolores says to Dylan that you better not fucking vote me off, and you better not be a fucking traitor.
Yeah, oh my god, when she storms in there and she's like, if you're a fucking traitor, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Yep. I think that's when she decided that she was voting out Britney.
Yeah, he goes, well then if this sucks, Dylan says. I love that too.
Yeah. I don't know if they didn't have to do another vote. If their banishments had already ended, they might not have voted out Britney.
Yeah, I agree.
But because they were forced to, she was the obvious choice. So,
yes.
The round table begins. Gabby thanks Brit again for not using the seer against her.
Yes, which was weird how they started out that round table. To me, that just seemed so unnatural. Like usually they always started the round table with always going after somebody, and like for the first time, the last round table, of course, they're talking about what happened with the seer and like all of that, and it was weird.
Right.
It was weird to me.
Right. I guess because they didn't really have enough to go hard at Britney, maybe? I don't know.
But when Britney started going in on Dylan, she started going hard.
Right. Yeah, she did.
So it's like, why didn't you just come out with that energy to begin with?
Right. Yeah. Yep.
That's where it was weird to me.
Ivor says that he was suspicious of Dolores, but she says it's not in her DNA at all to lie, and says that she doesn't have enough on Ivor to say that he's a traitor, but he had been on her list. And
yes, I love how Ivor said he goes, I don't do drama because he was trained his whole life as royal to stay out of the newspapers.
Yes, and that's so true that they are trained. Yeah. It's really bad to have anything to do with the press or anything else. So yeah, I liked that his reply a lot.
Yes.
So he Dylan then says that all five are probably faithful, but Britney is who he's going to vote out. Talks about how Danielle said that Britney had done it to her again, and he felt like there was more to that statement than just their history, that she was also talking to a fellow traitor.
Yes.
Which I would have liked to have seen more of why he thought that, because I never would have gotten that out of just that.
He did say something about how like Danielle could have easily been in the turret plotting to have like a storybook ending together, and that's where I think he was thinking Britney was also a traitor, and it was just how suspicious she was all of a sudden.
Yep, that's true. And then he even says that Dylan says that she was probably recruited if she is a traitor. So yeah. Dylan then is blown away because Britney says that she could use the same things against him for what Danielle was saying as she walked out, because she looked at Dylan and said like unbelievable or something. And
like
right around on Dylan. I did really appreciate her strategy. I thought it was a really good last ditch effort.
She did, and then she also said like, how can he suspect me? Like our game was closely mirrored to each other. I thought that was, yes, it was closely mirrored to each other until you got recruited. And then you completely, like, it was only 2 days, really, that she was, not even a day, really, she was a traitor. Well, it was 2 days. So, yes, it was very closely mirrored to the way that her and Dylan played until that final little bit where you can tell you were acting. Like, something came out in Britney.
Yep, I agree. So, Dylan also was saying, by the way, she was attacking him, that even proved more so that she was a traitor, because why would she come out so hard attacking him? And also, why would she need to act if she wasn't a traitor?
Yes.
So,
and he was right.
Ivor said that she was meek compared to the other traitors. And at first I was like, oh, well, that's something. But he is right. Compared to the actual traitors that they had, Britney would have been, and maybe meek isn't the proper word, but Britney would have been the most quiet.
Yes.
And least assertive of the group had she been, in the original traitors group.
I agree.
So then basically I think it's time to vote after that.
It is. And Britney starts the vote with Dylan. Dylan, of course, then goes to Britney. Ivor then votes Britney. And Dolores, in a surprise turn, votes for Britney.
Yep.
And saying that Danielle's reaction to Britney, it made her question her faithfuls for the first time.
Yes.
Yes. And then Gabby, of course, voted for Britney as well, which I was not shocked, but I was shocked because I thought for a second that Britney could have got those girls. She could have got them. The way that she was going to both of them for Dylan. But I'm glad.
I was funny too in the reunion where Andy told Dolores that she voted wrong 8 out of 10 times. So one of the times she got right was that vote.
Yes. I mean, she does though. She even New Jersey Housewives, she's always give everybody the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
They all have done it dirty.
Yep. So then Britney, before she walks out and she just says, think of me when the wind blows, hope you freeze.
Yes. I loved it.
Walks out. Yep.
I mean, you can't really say anything more though. You just had to kind of walk out because they weren't announcing what they were, so that was the best way.
Right. Oh, and then we've got the reunion, or not the reunion, we've got the looks for the final ceremony, final banishment. We've got cat suit, we've got a red long dress.
Yes.
I did not like Britney's coat. I like her headband, but I don't know.
The headband reminds me of Parvati, though, and her headbands.
Agree.
Maybe it's a thing. Some people like their headbands.
And then Dylan looked really nice in his suit.
Of course, Alan.
And then Alan. And then we've got the ring of, or the fire of truth ceremony.
Yes.
So we've got, I couldn't get all of them. Gabby's over hidden. You can't see her in the picture, but
and Dolores has a beautiful coat on.
She does have a beautiful coat on. I couldn't decide if I liked Alan's cape or not. I went back and forth.
Yeah, me too with it. It's like I like a cape, but like I don't know if it's like I get it. You're outside by fire, so it's campy, I guess.
I don't like the blue color. I think if it was maybe if it was black.
Yes, I agree.
Or gold or something, or silver. I don't know, gray.
I agree.
So at the fire, they have to all decide what the at the end of the game, they stand around the fire. What they decide is they go around and they throw a bag.
Timer is done.
Alexa. What's done? I heard that.
I know, and I muted you to tell her to stop. Like I had to get off the pictures real quick. Go find the mute. Alexa, shut up.
I was like, did I activate
it? No, she's reminding me I've got pop in the freezer.
Oh.
Let's see.
I don't have an Alexa. I have a Google, so mine doesn't do that. Maybe I should have
if I don't remind myself to get it out, it'll explode in about 3 hours.
Jeez.
Or 4 hours. But actually, by the morning, it'll be exploded in my freezer, and that's never fun to clean up.
No.
So they get around the fire of truth, and it was funny though, as the game was ending before they get to the fire of truth. Dylan is still talking about the game, and Alan is like, Dylan, it's over now. End it now.
Oh, yes. The best part, yes.
So the fire, if they throw in a bag and the fire turns green, then that person agrees to end
and
it.
Alan does interview each player though before the Ring of Fire too.
Oh yeah, that's right. The
yes, and
that's right.
He said Dylan says like I think he says to all of them like, "What would a win mean to you?" He said that to Dylan first, and they just share like life lessons, kind of like Dylan says the game has been a crash course to being a better person. And Ivor also thinks that, can you really trust anybody? Or no, Dolores says that. Dolores says, can you really trust anybody? So it kind of just goes from person to person, interviewing them about what this would mean to them and how that they felt about the game. And Gabby was just saying that if she got the money, she would be able to marry her girlfriend. I thought that was cute.
Yes. Yeah, and I liked Alan's face when she said that.
Yes. And they did get married. They did get married in Vegas.
Yes, they did. Like last week or something. So that was really cool. I'm surprised they didn't talk about that on the reunion. They must have filmed the reunion before the wedding.
Yeah, possibly. No, because they did it. They were all, well, you never know. They could have been told that they couldn't post pictures until the last week. Because they all posted pictures before the reunion was aired, but knowing that it was going to be. So I don't know if they would have to edit it. See, that was the other thing. They would have to edit it. So I think that they had to film it in advance, at least a week in advance.
Right. Yeah. So, and then if the flame stays red, then that person says they don't want to end the game and they all have to go around and vote again for somebody to be voted off.
Yes.
But they all make it really easy and they all throw green in and the game ends.
Which Dolores was the last one. And honestly, I was worried about Dolores.
Were you?
I was, honestly, because I felt like she might have thought like Dylan was still like someone she couldn't trust.
Yeah.
But
I just, when she went to him and said that stuff, I felt like he had her at that point.
Yeah. True.
But they did. They made the editing seem like she was going to be a concern to get his vote.
Yes.
So
that means that they each get $51,075. Since it's split
and it's the most
ways.
faithfuls ever to win at one time.
It was, yes.
So that's really cool. I didn't realize that. So that's really neat, though, that they made that decision and it was the most at one time.
Yep.
I mean, and it was kind of lackluster because, it was just like, okay, so there was no excitement in, 4-3 or anything like that, at the reunion, Wes is like, oh, I would have just kept cutting people.
Well, see, even if they did the reunion last week, they got married in January. So I don't know why they didn't mention that on the reunion, unless maybe it was just like cutting purposes. I hope Peacock does like a behind the scenes, or bonus clips for Traitors.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot was left out for an hour reunion.
Yeah, I agree. So we covered a lot of the reunion in the show, but let's go through and cover the stuff I guess we have not covered.
Yeah.
Anything else we want to mention?
I love that he had the 4 winners come in first, got to talk to them, then brought the Traitors in, and then the people that went home too soon, as he called it. But their wardrobes were all spectacular.
I loved the poem. He said 2 bobs, a rob, and a misguided heartthrob. Oh no, that was Andy's. That's right.
Yes. The other AC.
2 bobs, a rob,
the other
AC.
Yes.
And more sweeping drone shots of Land Rovers than ever before. I lost it. That was so funny.
Yes. Whoever's writing for the Traitors, you're doing a great job.
They are doing a really good job. That was really funny. So we got I liked that Andy was the host.
Yes.
And Especially because when Alan first came out and had the AC on, Andy Cohen was the first person I thought of. I'm like, Andy Cohen? I'm like, oh no, duh, Alan Cummings.
Yes.
Of course.
I thought that too when I saw it
And
too.
Yeah. Now we've got some of the reunion looks. Carolyn tweeted out some
She
photos
did.
of some of the reunion looks.
I
And then
wasn't
I
too
got a few
fond
more.
of Gabby's reunion look, but that's her style.
I don't like the bottom of it. I like the top, but the bottom, I'm not.
Nikki's
feel
dress
because-
was just on the runway not that long ago because we were looking at a runway show and I was like, oh my god, I just saw that dress, but it was in blue. And Nikki must have just literally got that off the runway. Literally.
Does Carolyn have the shape of a state on her leg? And if so, what state is that? Did you guys see
Let
it?
me look because I have the screen. I can look. I need to look. I know I saw the state. I didn't think to myself, what state is it though? But now I'm curious. Now I'm curious.
So there's a rumor going around that Tom and Carolyn might have done a little wham bam.
But he had a girlfriend. But
when has that ever stopped?
Exactly. If Carolyn did, that would make me hate Carolyn. Carolyn, you better not have. I like you right now. Oh my god.
Well, Rob probably said, "Oh, it's not serious," or "I don't have a girlfriend," or Tom. I mean, I said Rob.
What is that? I don't think that is a state. It looks like it could be a state, but unless it's like Kentucky, I don't know.
It didn't really look like Kentucky.
No, it's a weird shape. Maybe it's like a country. Because it's not a state. Here, I'm taking a screenshot close up of it so we can see.
I liked how they had Alan's outfits all in the background too.
Yeah.
Oh, and look, they've got traitor statues up in the balconies.
Ooh, I just saw that too. Yes, that's so cool.
That's cool.
Okay.
I like NBC spent a lot of money on the reunion.
Well, they had to. Traitors is so good. Why wouldn't you? I thought they should have done 2 parts at least, but that's just me.
Especially for it being just an internet show, though. Too, it's good to see that they put that kind of money into it.
Yes. There you go. I sent it.
So yeah, they started out with Gabby and Dolores and Dylan and Ivor, and even Andy said hi to Dolo. I'm like, and then I was thinking, well, is Dolo right? Like, what the?
I've never heard that. Unless it's like a nickname that they call her and they've just never put on the show.
Right. Andy was super happy that somebody from Bravo was in the winner's circle.
Yes, he was. I love when the Traitors come out and he said to them, like, what the fuck are you guys doing killing all the housewives at the beginning of the show? Because I thought the same thing too.
I got a picture of Bob, the drag queen, taking credit for that too. Let's see. It's coming up.
His outfit was to die for. I thought he looked spectacular.
It was.
I actually I sent Kooch this morning. The gloves that he had on, some girl had like a top that was made, but it looked like a bag to me.
Got that too.
Ooh, perfect. I loved on his face too. He had the red blood mark on his face too. For the kills.
Here we go. You can't barely see it at the top, but he's pointing at his gloves. He's like, this is Dorinda, and he's got blood on his hands. This one's Dorinda, and this one's Ayan, he says. And then Jackie sent me...
I thought it was a bag at first, and then she put it on, and it was a top. I was like, okay. If you got the body, I could see that.
I thought I had it on here.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, I put it right after her. Okay, so there's the gloves. And then, there's... It looked like a glove, then a purse, but it's actually a top.
Looks good. Bob the drag queen can pull that off. It might need to be a bigger glove, though. Just a bigger one.
Hey, Rainbow. And Bob the drag queen, Andy was laughing at his outfit and, was saying something about understated as always or something. Bob's like, oh, I just got this from my grandma, or it was my grandma.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
He is so funny. He's always cracks me up. And he even said, well, who did he tell at the reunion until you've done? He's like, I've had 2 comedy specials.
Oh,
who was he talking to?
Ayan, because she was saying that she was the funniest in the house, and he's like, when you have 2 comedy specials, let me know.
Yes. And then he was also dissing, just a tiny, giving Zac Efron just a wee bit of shade.
I couldn't believe him and Dolores. Well, Dorinda always has it out with people. That's just who she is. But the entitlement of the housewives. If this didn't prove to you some of the entitlement these housewife women have, Dorinda was like, what do you mean you didn't know who I was? He's like, I just don't watch your show. I don't watch the housewives. She couldn't believe that someone didn't watch the housewives.
Or she just thought that he was dissing her, that he really did know who she was, and he was just being, a snot, ew, I don't know her. She was just offended regardless, and either way she should have just brushed it off.
Yes.
So stupid, but and then she's like, Andy knows I caught Andy crying. I'm like, are you kidding me? Poor Andy.
Poor Andy.
Jesus.
He probably does get calls from all of these housewives. Can you believe it?
Oh my God, yep. Let's see.
I love the nickname of the Cage Boys that Bob the drag queen gave to the 3 of them in the cage. Yes.
Yep. I'm just kind of skimming through my notes here.
I love that Bob and Boston Rob at least had worked out their differences, because when they left, it was very heated between those 2, and I'm glad to see that they can at least understand it was a game. Because some people were taking things harsh.
Right, and you do have to take it as a game. You can't take it as as anything else.
And I loved how Gabby kept saying that it was just such great TV, because it was, especially between them going back and forth, it was made for TV kind of a thing.
Agree. Carolyn was talking about how self-aware she was, and she understands her own quirks and that, but then whenever she sees people rolling their eyes at her and different things, that hurts her feelings. Feels like she doesn't get taken seriously. Danielle disagrees, but then Gabby stuck up for her, and I liked that a lot.
And Andy even asked Carolyn, do you think that Danielle respected you? And Carolyn burst out in tears, of course, and she's like, no, I don't. And Danielle was like, she does.
And Danielle's like, oh, I respected your game. We just had communication issues, but I was impressed with you. And Bob Harper's backstage like, oh, that's what we call a backstroke.
Yes. I loved that. That was my favorite part.
Yep.
It was true, though.
Sure was. It's like Danielle was all of a sudden wanting to get people's votes for nothing she needed votes for.
Yeah.
Then Dolores, though, bragged about how Carolyn is number 7 worldwide on Cameo. That's pretty cool. That's some good money.
That is.
So that's funny. I bet people like I almost want a Cameo, but I just wanted to make a bunch of faces.
Oh my gosh.
But then I'd feel rude to ask her to do that. So
her faces, though, are just amazing.
I know.
I love the conversation between Danielle and Dolores, where Danielle admits that the whole grandkids, during the game, a lot of people were upset that Danielle swore on her grandkids. But Danielle even said that she knew, I didn't realize, I've heard this before, I just forgot it, that Dolores was a correctionals officer. So she knew,
Yeah.
like, Dolores was seeing into her soul. So that was her way to also get Dolores to believe her. And she knows she's Italian. Italians are all about family. And that was a way to get Dolores to believe Danielle. And I
Yes.
love that whole conversation. Because a
Agree,
lot of people
Rainbow.
were wondering about the whole swearing on the grandkids.
Yeah, I'm glad that they brought that up. I'm also glad that they didn't make that big of a deal of it, because 20 years
Yeah.
ago in reality TV, that was like such a huge deal. So I'm glad that, like, I liked Danielle's reasoning. Like, when it, even
Yes.
though this wasn't life-changing money, it was still enough to do good things for my family, and that's why I
Yep.
did it, and I'd do it again.
Yep. And she hopes that her grandkids are watching and they understand that
Yeah.
this money would have changed their life
Yeah.
in a good way, even a little bit.
So yeah, I liked that.
Yes. I
Oh,
love how Andy asked about the headbands to Sam.
yes.
And he asked him if he had any of the other Britney's headbands, and he doesn't. She
Right?
should definitely give him one.
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny. Oh, and then Andy says to Rob, why would anybody ever keep you in this game? I don't get it. Rob's like, well, I always go in and say I should always be the first voted out, but that's not true. You should keep me because I'm just so loyal. And Jeremy is backstage like, no, you're not loyal at all. And he's
Oh
not. He
my
wasn't
God,
loyal to the
yes.
Survivor people at all.
No.
Which, I would have been loyal to Jeremy, but Tony Vlaco, I see why he wasn't loyal to Tony.
Yeah. But if you look
Danielle
too,
had
like,
accused
Rob didn't
Rob
have
of
much of a
lying.
say though with the Jeremy thing. Rob didn't say anything about the Jeremy kill. It was more Bob the drag queen and Danielle at that point.
Right. Right. Well, and then
So
Danielle calls Rob a liar and saying that he was gonna stab Dylan in the back.
yeah. He's like, at the very end, when I had
Right.
to, if I had to.
Right. And that's what Dylan said too. Yeah. I mean, at the very end.
And Dylan even picked up the fact that he takes a newbie to the end, even in Survivor games. And he was just
Right.
that
And
newbie.
Dylan was so that was like really cool that Dylan is such a good study of these games that he noticed that
Yeah.
Rob does that with the rookie, which yeah.
And Bob Harper was so jealous. He's like, you didn't pick me up at the airport.
I know.
When they were talking about their bromance. I was like, I saw that video too, Bob.
That was so funny.
I love their bromance, though.
Same.
They asked Bob the drag queen about Dylan's brother. What did Zach have to say about Bob the drag queen saying, like, when Dylan said, I grew up with an actor, he's like, not a good one. And he asked Zac Efron wanted to know if Bob the drag queen has seen Baywatch.
I didn't really understand that joke.
It was his latest movie.
Oh, was it?
Yes, the new
Baywatch came out a long
Baywatch.
time ago?
No, so they made a movie, Baywatch,
I
of like
thought
the
the
behind.
movie was out a while ago. I guess not. I don't know.
Maybe. Let me see.
Because I was so confused by that, but then I don't really watch movies much, so.
Yeah, I haven't watched the movie. I watch whatever Bravo puts on. It came out in 2017, so it's newer.
Well,
I don't know
God,
if
that's like.
that might be his latest one. I don't know.
If
Has
that's
he
his
been in any
latest
movie?
movie, well, then, yeah, who the frick is Zac Efron?
Last movie, Zach. Now I'm wondering.
Yeah, it can't be his last movie.
No, A Family Affair in 2004. 24, sorry. 24.
Okay.
So, maybe, I don't know, Baywatch. Maybe it looked good in
Funny.
Baywatch.
Yeah, maybe it was like one of his biggest
Maybe.
like, top box office ones.
Who
or
knows?
something. I don't.
I saw him in 17 going 17 again or whatever. 17 Again. That's the name of the movie. 17 Again. That's the last movie I think I saw. And then High School Musical, of course.
Right. I thought it was funny when Andy brought out Britney and announced, he said, much like Chrishell, Gabby, and Ivor switched teams, so did Britney.
Yes. Yes.
I'm like, Andy, you're so cute. I love you.
That was good. Yes.
It was really funny. Let's see. Oh, and then did you catch when Bob the drag queen, when they were talking about, what were they talking about? Oh, how Dolores acted with the head nod at that Danielle vote.
Oh, yes.
So Britney asked Bob the drag queen if he watched the show. He replied, "Yes, I watched the show, Tamar."
That was a good one. Yes.
You just called her Tamar Braxton. You did not.
Oh my God. It was good.
That was so funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the editing definitely made it look like, Britney was getting the eye from Dolores. And Dolores has no clue, though, that she even did that. And I can see that.
Yes.
I can understand, it just, because, Carolyn's not the only one with faces. We all have faces sometimes. So.
And who thinks, like, you're making a face at me at the time, like, maybe someone's going to pick up on that, but sometimes it's just the heat of the moment. Like, you're voting. You're, like, thinking, you're just looking around, kind of like, should I vote for this person? Or, like, even just, it's just the heat of the moment. Maybe just Dolores didn't realize it. I didn't think of it until they said it during the reunion. I saw it, but I didn't think, like, oh, she was making a face at her.
Rainbow, I don't know the exact reference if Bob the drag queen has history with Tamar. But I know that, I don't really know the exact reference. I just know that Tamar, I don't know, Tamar's always been a little problematic, but
yeah,
I don't know, is problematic the right word? Maybe not the right word. So yeah, I don't know exactly why he called her Tamar, but I still thought it was funny.
I did notice that though too, and I thought the same thing. Like, Tamar's just known to be problematic, so I think that's where he was like calling her maybe that as a reference, like that she was being problematic. But
I mean, like when she was on the Big Brother Celebrity, she liked to, cause a lot of drama and things like that. Yes. But yeah, so
especially these reindeer games that I didn't see that apparently were very dramatic.
I think they were less. You're going to be disappointed.
Oh, damn.
They are making the drama of the reindeer games to be like so much bigger than.
And I didn't get it too. So Britney said, like, before the reindeer games, they only spent like 3 hours together.
I guess cumulative 3 hours at different events and stuff that the reality shows, that they do.
Oh, okay. So I'm thinking, wasn't Big Brother? She was on there more than 3 hours.
Well, yeah, but she meant in between shows.
Oh, okay.
Like from the time, like they weren't on they were like before reindeer games, they were not on a season together. So before reindeer games, they had only spent 3 hours.
Gotcha.
Danielle ended up seeming like she took it like a good sport. Who knows? It was kind of funny though. Danielle said she would never trust her again, not because she would vote her out, but because Britney would vote her out.
Yes.
I'm like, that's fair, but wouldn't you just vote her ass out right away now, knowing what you know? You'd be stupid to keep her in even a day.
True.
So it should be interesting. They might have just, virtually signed contracts for another reality show together with this little fight they have going.
Oh, yes. I love how Tom, though, still thought, like, people really enjoyed him at the castle.
God.
He's so oblivious. He thought that, like, people respected him for doing this show. No one respects you at all, Sandoval. No one's changed their opinion about you.
And just because you did good on the Rob thing, everybody knew that it was Rob. Rob just got all the other bigger threats out before him, and then he went.
Yeah, they made it like a thing that, like, Tom Sandoval took out Rob. No!
Tom didn't discover that Rob was the traitor. Like Tom
How
just
about all 80 other 7 thoughts that this man had? You're gonna give him 1 out of 87. Come on.
Andy was really on his jock. Like, come on.
Well, there's been rumors going around what Andy said to him on Watch What Happens Live, because he had him on Watch What Happens Live on Wednesday before the Traitors reunion. And they said something about how Lala and Sandoval have been in contact with each other because they have something in the works, they think, for maybe a behind the scenes, like, our OG Vanderpump show kind of thing coming on a different network, possibly. I don't know. You know, the Bravo has hopes.
I don't want to watch anything with him in it.
Neither do I. I'm done with Sandoval.
That'd be crazy if Lala did a show with him. That would be crazy.
I could see, like, her on the Valley, because I know she's going to be on the Valley with Sheena, but, like, Sandoval's not even friends with them. I guess Sandoval's still friends with Jax, but even there, I don't think they're really close friends. And from what I've heard, too, even Schwartz is on the outs with Sandoval. Though Schwartz is single again, so he might be friends with Sandoval now that he's single again, too. So, who knows? Who knows with these boys?
Yeah, Tom said he had never been so happy at a reunion ever.
Yeah.
And also said that it was, these idiots on Blue Sky and Twitter were like, Tom redeemed himself and he was so good and I never ever wanted to see him on my TV and now I just can't get enough of him on reality TV and blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
listen, I can agree. I can give him credit where credit is due. He made me laugh the entire time he was there, but there was not for 1 second did I not want him to go home from the very moment. Like, every episode, I was hoping Tom went home.
Right. And then Tom's acting like it was his very first competition reality show when in fact it wasn't. He was just on that weird army or
special ops. Special ops.
Yeah.
Yep. He forgot about that one. He did that literally right after they announced the affair. That was his first, like, company show that he was able to do because everyone got competition shows. Schwartz did, like, Stars on Mars, and then Ariana did Dancing with the Stars. So, like, of course they were going to ask the guy that cheated on his girlfriend to do a show.
Right. Yeah. I also liked when Andy asked Wes if he was related to what's his face? What's his name?
Yeah.
And now I want to call him Haggis, but that's not his name. That's a food.
Hagrid. I forgot who he compared him to.
And I can't think of the guy's name. I've got it in my notes, but I can't find it. And there's.
I love how he kept calling himself the best competition player of all times, and Rob kept saying former.
Right. Yep. Yep. I liked Ayan's dress. I thought it was really pretty.
Oh yes.
Robin.
Yeah.
Oh, I had to get a picture. Bob said his suit just came off the runway, and I loved it on him. I'm so glad he wore it and not Tom because he can pull that shit off unlike Tom.
Yes.
Fergus, thank you. Thank you. Fergus, you guys. That was
Fergus, yes. There you go.
But yeah, so I really liked this on him. I like it with his tattoos and everything.
I loved when Ciara was talking to Rob about how he looked so good when he was younger. And this isn't a diss either, but I didn't realize how good looking Rob was in his 20s as well. Until I saw photos when I was doing the Chicks in the Office podcast, and I was like, oh my god, he was a stud. I mean, so she's from the New York area too, so like it's my area. Like that's kind of like, yeah. I guess, I don't know. It's like that Jersey Shore kind of look that we all have around here.
Yeah.
So, he was a stud, and I go for construction man. My boyfriend's a construction man. So.
He was I mean, he's still attractive, but he's like a dad now. He's like dad bod kind of attractive guy.
Yeah, dad bod. I'll still take it. in 40, when I'm older.
But yeah, he definitely was super hot when he was first on Survivor and that.
And that's like the only person he didn't betray was Amber, his wife. So he didn't betray her.
Very true.
So
Ayan came out like she was on the runway, and I loved it. Bob the drag queen said she was a close second to his look.
Yes.
That's great.
And who knew that Wells and Ayan were so close?
I think that's so cute.
Yes.
And then Ayan said Bob was jealous of her.
Yes. I love that they've talked, and it was like they were just going with the jokes, though.
Yep.
Because I love that they're friends, because they would be good friends together.
Yeah. I thought it was funny when Jeremy was trying to explain strategy to Bob the drag queen.
Yes.
And how, if you had made this decision and you had kept me, then, you would have been right. He's like, oh, well, yeah, now I know that. Or, I kind of like,
yeah.
Dude, you're talking
about competition. You were on Drag Race. There's competition there. Please. Maybe just not as underhanded, but there's competition. I watched plenty of it.
Talking about Derek's really good investigation skills. I liked that.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I didn't realize Tony was a cop either.
West over Rob, it was a testament to how good his skills were.
Yes.
And how much he hated Rob or Wes.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, what did you say? I didn't mean to.
I didn't realize Tony was a cop too until Andy said it.
Yep. Both Tony and him. And then Bob said the one thing about Dylan that is he was so far up Rob's ass. And that's where he was talking about, he was jealous. And then we had Danielle get the award.
Yes. And Robin did make a point where people online were saying Danielle was the worst traitor ever, which I do agree. She was the worst traitor ever, in my opinion. But Robin said, the way that you have to look at it too, she was putting on a show, she was acting, she was doing everything. She wasn't the worst traitor ever. She made it the furthest out of all the traitors, that she was the longest lasting, so she couldn't be the worst because she had made it the longest.
I see that point, but then also a lot of times really bad people make it really far in competitions and then they end up winning, but it wasn't really for a lot of the stuff they did themselves. It's just that there was so much other infighting and so many other bigger personalities and different things that got picked off that this is just kind of where it ended up.
Yes.
So I think it's a combination.
Yes, I agree. And I love that they theorized like the game. Like if this person made it to the end, it would have gone maybe different. Because it's true. Like the game could have gone in many different directions at any different point in time if people chose different things. If they recruited Britney, maybe. Because even Andy asked, like, why didn't you recruit Britney when you had the chance the first time to recruit? And she was like, Carolyn's like, I wouldn't have made it. And I agree. If Britney was there, like, though she was on the chopping block with people, and they could have probably thrown her under the bus, it wouldn't have been like that, possibly, depending on if Danielle still wanted to have that pact with Britney. Who knows?
It's the state of Washington, by the way, the tattoo.
Oh. Very nice. Okay. I did not think that was the state of Washington, but
I know. I never would have looked that way.
Neither would I.
I never would have. I don't know. I didn't know that Washington was shaped like that at all. I feel stupid.
Maybe we're looking at it from a different perspective.
Sure, that's it. Yep, it looks so different on a leg. Too funny. I'm sad about Dubai too. They only had one season on Dubai, didn't they? Or did they do 2 seasons?
Two seasons.
And I didn't watch the second season because I think I found out it was over before I even started watching it, so I decided not to watch it and get disappointed.
Yeah, and speaking of, Alan confirmed it at the very end that there will be another season of The Traitors, so they got picked up for another season. So we will have 4 very soon.
He
hopefully.
sure did. And let's
I'm
see, I
excited.
am going to share. Let's see. Go into Instagram here.
Yeah, I've been sending Kooch things all week.
I wish I could make just this half big. Oh, I put this one on. Actually, I've got that one on my backstage. Let me pull that up here.
Perfect.
Yeah, I put this one on my backstage. So hot.
Oh.
Look at that. My brother guessed before the show even aired that I was going to win.
Well, Zach, your brother and you are both still hot right now, I guess.
I think Dylan's hotter than Zach.
Me too. I was never a Zac Efron person, but I'm a Dylan Efron person, that's for sure.
Yeah, I never thought Zach was ugly, but I never really thought,
yeah, he's not my type.
He's attractive, but no, Dylan is hot.
Yes. I love Andy. How did you maintain those 6-packs while you were at the castle? It wasn't easy.
Andy's kids need a baby daddy, Dylan.
They do.
So let's see. Let me scroll to
one of the Sam said on Instagram that apparently Dylan doesn't shower because he didn't have a shower scene. He only had him working out with the ab scene. It's like, oh yeah,
Solo,
they just
that
you got the shower scene, okay?
if I went into this game and just was able to speak.
Oh, you gotta take the photo off.
Yep. Sorry.
No problem.
Photo.
Though I love looking at them. They're so hot.
I know, right? Okay.
A cohesive sentence, then people are going to be like, oh, that guy actually has a brain.
Dylan was like my Frankie away from home.
Frankie has the biggest heart. He says his prayers. He cleans his room. He helps me.
He reminded me of Frankie. He's so good. He's so pure. I will fight you. I will hurt you if you think you're going to say something mean to my Dylan.
I'm definitely getting the benefit of very low expectations and just hitting the bar. The expectations for me were so low that if I went into this game and just was able to speak a cohesive sentence, then people are going to be like, oh, that guy actually has a...
Mr. Ooh, the tea. Go to the one with Alan. He spills tea there. The page 6, yes.
And there was one time when they voted Wes off, who was
that's my man too.
Another one, another
love Wes.
Love Wes, and so the people were voting, and I thought they're surely going to vote for Rob this time. I mean, surely. And I saw somebody write Wes down, and all of a sudden I have a little thing in my ear, and all of a sudden I hear this, Alan, your face, your face, your face, because I thought my face was doing this.
But you were.
What I was actually doing was this.
You did.
The show is like Lord of the Flies with Botox.
It is Lord of the Flies with Botox.
I watched that interview. I'm so glad you got a clip of that because that was a really good interview that he did.
It was.
Not wrong. All right. Let's see who the traitor is. Britney! Oh my God, no way! Wow. That would be my pick for Danielle to recruit because they obviously have a bond. I feel like Britney, she can be very charismatic. She could turn it on.
I adore Britney with all my heart. That moment where I put that green cloak on her, I was so giddy because I just felt like I wish that's how we were on Big Brother Reindeer games. Working with her was the best high in the game. I felt like this is what it should have been. And I thought for second we were going to do it. We were going to pull this off. That's the time in the whole game where I feel like I had someone truly, truly in my corner.
Who the other traitor is. Yep, I knew it. I was right. And she recruited Britney. The way she was acting just seemed a little performative. She just, to me, became really obvious.
I played a phenomenal game that I'm not ashamed of. What I learned about myself, that I'm a great actress. I mean, good Lord, did you see what I was doing in there? Oh my God, give me an Emmy for this. This is crazy. I'm sure during the reunion it's going to be quite interesting. And look, I'm going to own it, and I'm going to be apologetic. I hope they accept my apology. I need them to understand that, you know, what I was doing was just for game purposes only, but at the same time, it wasn't easy. It was not easy at all.
Not wrong.
There you go.
Thanks,
the two wannabe actors right there. Sandoval and Danielle.
Rainbow, there's nothing private or important, so...
Oh, no.
Okay. Whoops. Not on that one, though. Sorry. As long as I'm scrolling on the right person. I don't know why it goes back to... Okay,
that would be Instagram.
Oh, look.
Her beautiful look. She got in trouble at the hotel, too.
Why?
So the hotel that they were staying at, she was like posing with her tripod, doing like, you know, a photo shoot before the reunion with the dress. And the hotel guy comes up to her and is like, we don't allow tripods in the lobby. So she had to stop her little photo shoot.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Let's see, we got one more to play. Oh wait, that's not it. Oh, is that it?
Oh no, it's just the reunion. Just Sam. I think there was one more before that.
Why isn't that one playing?
Oh, it's the last one. You have to scroll. So it's like he has like a couple things.
Oh, okay.
He was showing the shower scene in Dylan's workout. There you go.
Oh no, not the bedazzled shoe!
Where's the shoe?
Checking the shoes up here, business.
Oh wow!
Keep going! You guys are killing it!
Wow!
Oh, you're so good at this actually.
Yeah, not bad, huh?
Really good.
Oh!
So I guess badminton was the thing to do at the castle.
Pippi, I almost showed the nudes, but I caught myself.
There's nudes in there. No.
Rainbow, I'm sure Rainbow people are going to be pausing those little parts to see if I showed anything that was salacious, but I didn't. I went back and double checked. Like, we're all good. It's safe.
Oh my God. If you're that crazy, then you're that crazy, I guess.
Oh, you know how they are.
I know.
There's things going on, and everybody's that crazy. So
they are. That's true.
So yeah, I guess that was basically the finale of the reunion.
And I do have to say this. Wolf asked because I told him that Survivor had started, and Wolf wants to do Survivor too. So I think all three of us should do Survivor, the new season that's coming out. That's just my opinion, but
I think you and
we'll
Wolf
have
should
to talk.
do it, and I will definitely watch.
You can come join us too, though, if you want.
I might, but I don't know. Survivor is just like, I feel like
lot.
Survivor's just on, and I know you guys will say like it's not true, but Survivor's just on a level that I don't think I'm qualified for.
You're qualified for anything you put your mind to.
I knew you would.
You are.
Glenn,
I've never watched Survivor, and I'm gonna do Survivor, so I think you, of all people, can do Survivor.
But that'll be great to have a fresh perspective like that. That'll be really cool. So I'm excited to watch you guys do it.
Well,
and
I am excited to watch Survivor. It's been a long time. I think I saw the first Survivor, and that was like it, really.
If I come up and join you sometime, then maybe I'll change my mind. But
well, I'm convinced I can get you to do it.
Right, not that Lauren Murray, they're so wild.
Oh, we have wild DMs.
Jenny, I agree. They should have played with their shirts off. All of them.
That would have been... Yeah, except for Sandoval, though. So Sandoval, yes, he has, like, a nice body, but, like, I don't want to see that fucking cheater body. Like,
No, I don't
stay
know.
away.
The less of him, the better.
Yes. But,
So, yeah,
you know,
there's
he
gonna
thinks
be-
that this game made everybody love him again, apparently.
Well, and Andy had to read the nice tweets, so.
Yeah, he did. He did.
But, so I guess that's all we got for you, though.
Yes, it was so fun doing this, too.
It was a lot of fun, and we will definitely be back for the new season, and I will definitely be sending out the information when Jackie and Wolf go live on Survivor. That will be fun.
Yes, and me and Kooch might just bring you something else in the future, besides
That's
Traitors
right.
4 when it comes out, but
That's right. And
something
we are
definitely else.
I'm still looking at a possible game. We'll see how that goes.
Yes, me too. We're definitely going to figure that out, so.
I'm going to play, I think I'll play our intro song, song out because I love it and it's the last time we'll hear it for a while.
Yes.
And the song really grew on me, so.
Oh, I was singing it in the car on my way home, so.
So you guys, thank you so much for joining us for a really fun season. We couldn't have done it if you guys didn't join us and watch us.
Yes.
And we really appreciate it. So thank you.
Yes. Any suggestions, let Kooch know, too.
Yes, for
I'm
sure.
down.
And everybody have a great night, great rest of your weekend. Thanks again, and we will see you guys later.
Come friend, come foe, come one, come all, to the highlands to see who lives and who falls. Jokers and fools, queens and kings, they'll take to the stage on invisible strings. Once in my castle, their roles are assigned, their fates in the game, forever entwined. Under cover of night, the traitors will slay. Can a faithful fight back, or be